He does look pretty cooked. They have no hope. They have no hope.
Look at the release.
There's your separation.
Great route.
Stutter and go. Gets by clean.
That is unbelievable.
May be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
Okay, we talked about some dead zones in the NFL. I think the Steelers, I don't know if they're there quite yet, but I mean, they're on the precipice. They're dangerously close.
Yeah.
Big Ben looks like Peyton Manning's last year in the NFL. Like, his arm is dead, bro.
It's dead.
Do you remember how bad Peyton Manning was his last year in the NFL?
I mean,
like,
he got benched. He got benched for Brock Osweiler.
Osweiler. Holy hell. How bad do you have to be that you're getting benched for Brock Osweiler? That was rough. And I feel like Big Ben is at that point right now. Like, he is, I mean, man, it has come fast and it has come sudden.
Jason La Canfora, there was a report from him over the weekend that some execs around the league and inside the Steelers building are starting to get a little concerned that Roethlisberger is near the end, and that he looks a little cooked. I'm paraphrasing there, obviously. And I'm like, did you just see the video? Do you also not have, are they waiting for the Game Pass All 22 to come back to not check this out? Like, did you watch the Steelers last year? I think you should, Steelers execs, you should be concerned about Ben Roethlisberger. He does look pretty cooked. I don't even know if you could qualify this as a conspiracy theory. It's just my guess on this matter is that Kevin Colbert, Mike Tomlin, the whole Steelers brass was just like, okay, Ben was crying after that playoff game, looking all miserable. He's going to retire. Thank God. That'll take the messiness off our hands. And then for whatever reason, Ben decides, I'm coming back for one more ride. And I have to imagine they were like,
It's crazy to say because, the Steelers have actually done really well in the draft. Like, they draft really well. And they've taken shots on guys and seems to pan out. Like, Diontae Johnson is one. Like, I think about TJ Watt, where he went.
Chase Claypool, Najee.
Chase Claypool, Najee, like all this.
Juju,
like,
good.
Yeah, they draft well, and the one thing I will always say about Mike Tomlin is player development has always been a skill set of his.
Huge. Yep.
They've always been really, really good at developing their own guys, which is great. Hey, listen, we really appreciate you guys watching this video. We really do. But if I could, I just want to take a little bit of time to talk about our great sponsor, OddsJam. Developed by Stanford engineers, OddsJam can identify odds that make you a winner every single time. Now you're asking yourself, okay, now how do they do this?
OddsJam uses real-time data to spot discrepancies between different sports books to help users place risk-free bets.
It's called arbitrage. Here's an example.
Last week, the run line in a Rangers game was 2.5. If you bet the over and the under at different sites that have different odds, it doesn't matter what the results are.
If you place the right mathematical bet, you make money. But it's not just arbitrage. If you want to shop for the best odds, OddsJam can do that too. For example,
let's say you like the Packers money line. OddsJam will help you find the best odds for the most profitable returns. OddsJam has all the tools and calculators to help you make some of the best bets possible. Go check them out at oddsjam.com.
I guess but what I'm saying though, so they've drafted well, Matt, but like this offseason was an absolute, in my opinion, an absolute disaster for them. You knew you had a lot of issues on the offensive line, which has been just a foundation for the Steelers for the past decade. A lot of deterioration there. They didn't really address that. Didn't address it well.
No.
And then the number one thing is quarterback. And I was saying on my Fantasy Zone show, I'm like, I don't understand why the hell they didn't address quarterback. And they're like, well, they were drafting so late in the first. I'm like, guys, you're making it sound like trades can't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, trades can happen in the NFL, and you have a glut of wide receivers. Give me your first round pick and Chase Claypool, or give me your first round pick and Juju, and move up in the draft. And go get like a Mac Jones. If Ben is actually done, Like, you can go to a younger player who's waiting in the wings, you know?
Yeah, I think the problem is just that, for one, Ben Roethlisberger is you have to remember, I mean, we're dogging on Ben hard right now, and I think he deserves it. I think he deserves every piece of criticism. Like, he is what's holding this offense back. Like, if you watch the Steelers and you come to any other conclusion, then the problem is the quarterback. I know their offensive line is not good. I know the pass protection is not good, but they're dead in the water. Like, you can't be dead in the water if you have a bad offensive line. There's crappy offensive lines throughout the league. Derek Carr is not playing with good pass protection right now, but like, he can do some stuff to get out of it. You know,
Joe Burrow,
bad offensive line, taking a lot of heat, but there's still something going on there. But they are dead in the water with Ben Roethlisberger, and that's my point. Is that were great days with Roethlisberger. He is a franchise-defining, larger-than-life figure in the building. So I think when he comes back, they are just put in a position where, all right, damn it, this isn't what we wanted, but now we have to go all in, make one last push because Ben is here, to the point that, like, okay, so they take the win now pick of the running back, and it hilarious, like, to no twist, like, hilariously now, completely predictably, you know, you've got the same beat writers that were carrying that water for the Najee Harris pick. They're like, well, there's nothing Najee can do because the offensive line stinks. It's like, yeah, that's why you don't take the running back. And so to bring it all, I mean, so I think we're both in agreement. Like, they're dead in the water with Ben Roethlisberger as a team. Right. I don't think they can get out of that. The defense would have to be elite to do that, and they're already not healthy. Like, they're already having injury issues on that side of the ball. Right. With Roethlisberger just being what he is, I mean, the guy's 8 for 22 on passes of 15+ air yards. He cannot get the ball downfield at all. He also does. He can't go over the deep middle. Won't throw over the deep middle. It's the same offense they were running last year. From a fantasy perspective, Diontae Johnson, when he's healthy, will be fine-ish in terms of, like, he's a wide receiver too. Like, he's going to get enough volume to get there. Same with Najee Harris. Like, it's also, if you wanted one more piece of evidence that Roethlisberger's cooked, the fact that Najee Harris ends up with 19 targets or whatever it was the week that Diontae Johnson is out.
Golly.
That's all you need to know. He has to have a binky receiver, like a binky, a little blankie for security there. And once Diontae's gone, their best separator, their best route runner, it's like, well, I'll just throw these dump offs to Najee Harris. Chase Claypool, forget about it. That breakout season's not going to happen. He'll have his moments. He's a good player, but it's not happening with Ben. Juju's not healthy. He's just not going to get enough volume to get there in his role. So basically, like, Najee Harris is going to moonwalk into an RB1 season, but, like, if you had any hope that he had a ceiling, like a top 5 ceiling or something like that, forget it. I think I'll still have him as a top 13 back in rest of season rankings, but that's simply because he's going to get all of the touches in that backfield, and Diontae will get all the targets, and that'll be that.
Najee Harris, a supremely talented player, has been reduced to, you're hoping he's a PPR checkdown guy. That's what you're hoping. You're literally hoping that's where he's going to make his production. It's like, oh man, like, I can't believe we're talking about Najee Harris like JD McKissick. Like, that sucks. That's where we're at with that.
What if Kirk Cousins or, like, Sam Darnold or, you know, whatever, take any, like, middling starting quarterback was on this
dude
team.
let me bring it back. Like, would you rather have Tyrod Taylor or Big Ben?
Tyrod Taylor, give me a break. Look at the shit show that Tyrod's dealing with.
100%.